Okay, I think we're live. Sorry, folks. Sorry for the delay. It was a very important delay. Coffee. Had to get that coffee going. Oh, I see a whole bunch of people are here, and I am late. My apologies. Grumpy Old Fart, Yorkshire DB, Riker 2910, hello. Canuck, how's it going? Kaz, Antibody Baby, how's it going, guys? Brambleberry, hello. Room full of waiting, yeah, sorry. All right. Hey, Raven. All right. Now we've got to get the actual game running. So I realized another problem. Well, last week we were testing out really sketchy stuff. And so I can't use those saves from last week. So you'll have to bear with me. I put out a public beta for the patch, and I'm going to actually use that because I think that will be a good gauge. If something falls totally apart tonight using a public beta, then it probably means that I need to like go fix those bugs before we release on Friday. Hello, Omni. Oh, coffee. All right, so bear with me just a second. I'm downloading this file right from our forums, and it is massive. SS2 on PC now with everything is over 7 gigabytes. It's so freaking huge. It is amazing we can fit all this on Xbox. I mean, not all of it, obviously, but like the fact that there's so much of the extra content, like, is so big now that. All right, let's grab all this. There's so much extra content it couldn't possibly fit on Xbox. Couldn't fit on 3 Xboxes. All right, let's replace these files. I know you guys can't see what I'm doing. I'm just talking you through it, as is usual in this stream, where I'm often dinking around on the screen you can't see. Hey, Sinister, how are you? All right. So we're gonna load the day 20 save, I guess, because that would have been right after we finished Angel of Mercy. Okay, let's see here. I will load up the game and then I can bring you guys into it, I think. Let's see if my buttons are working today, actually. Let's see. Oh, there we go. I got sound. Can you guys hear the music? Hair dog meat? I hear them. Actually, let me pop out chat because it is very hard to... My neck is going to get destroyed working at this angle. There we go. A little bit of whimper. Yeah, SS2 extended is ridiculous. Go bigger, home. Go bigger. Yeah, we're working on it. Hey, Mystic, how are you? Yeah, we will definitely go bigger. I have some more. We have some more stuff written up. Some pretty substantial stuff written that still needs to go into production. Okay, let's see. So now I guess what do we have in our log? I don't know if we even have... Yeah, we do have listen to Jake's frequency. Okay, so we can immediately just start the quest, and hopefully all of our confetti work last week will work.
When you've got a moment, could you stop by the plaza again? There's something I need to talk to you about. Hey, what are you doing up there? You want to brace them? You don't got all, Doc.
Sorry, I'm just setting something up.
And now you guys know what she's setting up.
If we're all still in one piece by the time we get here, I'll meet you in the atrium by the big globe thing. See you soon.
This has been a pre-recorded message.
Okay, off we go. All right, let's see if it all works. Because now this is a save that hasn't seen any of my... Oh, wait, it's not going to. Hold on. We got to do this over. Damn it. Hold on a second. All right, back to the dev machine. I just realized I still have my my test files installed. I didn't disable them. So we're going to be loading up with the patch plus the test files. That's going to cause a disaster. So I got to get rid of these. All right, so hold on. We'll just disable them in my plugins file. Bummer. All right. hold on. Let's see. Wait, where's my plugins.txt? Well, that's not good. Okay, bear with me here. Local Fallout 4, where are you hiding at? Fallout 4 plugins.txt. Somehow my Fallout 4 plugins got closed. All right, let's see. We're going to get rid of all of these. And you know what's going to happen now? Next time that I go to test a patch, I'm going to be like, it's not working. It's totally broken. Don't know what happened. And not going to remember that I disabled all of these test plugins. Okay. All right, let's launch the game again. Not there. I got to launch it direct from F4SE. You guys just have to listen to me talk to myself again. Okay, yeah, now it's going to yell at me because all of my KG edits files are gone. But that's what we need. All right, now I can bring you guys back over here, and we get to listen to Jake and Lupe again. All right, come on, game. Okay, hopefully we didn't ruin this save by disabling some mods. But I don't know what else I could do for that.
Hey there, Slick. When you've got a moment, could you stop by the plaza again? There's something I need to talk to you about.
Yeah, so you just got random holotapes removed. Not a great sign. Come on, save. You got this.
Sorry, I'm just setting something up.
Well, if we're all still in one piece by the time we get here, I'll meet you in the atrium by the big globe thing. See you soon.
This has been a pre-recorded message.
Okay, let's see if this all works. Hey, Jono, how are you? So I guess we're hoping for 3 things here if my patch stuff worked. We should appear in front of Teresa instead of inside of GNN. Oh no, wait, the save, it's already too late by the time that triggered it. We went through this last time, that it is going to take us inside, but for future playthroughs, this icon won't change until after you arrive next to Teresa. And that's okay. And then we'll see if Jake ends up with his helmet stuck on, or maybe we get bald Jake again. Or I believe everyone in chat from the swooning, it was bald sexy Jake in chat. We'll see if we get him again. And then, of course, our confetti. Let's see what happens. All right, we got not bald Jake and no helmet, so that's one success.
Excuse me.
Welcome back to the plaza, Slick. Got some good news to share. The Comm hub is fine. In fact, it's better than fine. Don't ask me how or why, but the gun has actually finished repairing it. And they even started adding some upgrades.
That's great news.
Part of me was dreading finding the hub, thinking what the gunners might have done to it. But turns out they were busy making it even better. That kind of brings me to the next thing I want to talk to you about. You see, I think we should stay here, in the plaza.
Oh, I saw a call for...
Maximum crabs!
We got Clark. Love it. Oh, don't worry. The red dress should still be in my inventory, unless that got destroyed too by disabling mods. Starmo, good evening. Downloaded Rise of the Commonwealth City plans this week. Wanting to play them. My games kept soft locking. So what you're going to want to grab is, are you playing on PC or Xbox? Would be the first question.
Okay. Care to elaborate?
PC, you're going to want to grab
It's got real hardwood flooring.
either Buff
It's
Out,
glow and sea adjacent.
if you're not playing with
It's
it,
certainly a step up from the hardware
or
store.
what's the other one?
And I don't suppose you've noticed what's on top of this place?
Why can't I think of the name of it? I know who makes it. And I don't even know their name. I know their little icon. what is the other one? Hold on a second. I'm going to find it for you. There's a mod you'll want to grab that can expand. So what you're running into is the script data limit that Fallout 4 has. And there is a thing that lets you get past it, but I cannot remember for the life of me what it's called. Can anybody know what I'm talking about? The guy who makes it, his username starts with SHA. What the hell is this thing called? Baka. Yeah, Baka Scrap Heap. Thank you. Yeah, Baka Scrap Heap is a nice, easy mod you can install to let you load basically unlimited script data, and then Buffalo 4 is a more complicated one. It is Buffalo 4 will stop you from having a lot of crashes. And it also includes this change. So Buffalo 4 is the preferable one, but it's more of a pain to install. You got to install a bunch of other DLLs and stuff. So if you want a simple way to get it loaded, if you're not big into all the F4SC mods, Baka Scrap Heap is the one simple F4SC mod. Otherwise, Buff Out is the preferred, I think. Oh, XL is even better than Baka. Okay, there you go. So somebody has a suggestion for even better one. But I think personally, Buff Out is the king of all of them as far as like adding good fixes and also solving this memory problem.
You tell me.
Well, on the plaza's roof is a huge antenna. It probably used to
Oh,
be
we got some more
used in every
new
home of the
faces in chat,
Commonwealth.
or at least people I
It's
haven't
got a
talked to in a while.
massive
Zartef,
broadcast
Pedro,
range.
Caesar,
Some of
hello.
the gun has made good use of
Well, Bologna, hey, how's it going?
Sounds useful.
Now you connect something like the plaza antenna to the comm hub, and you got yourself a match made in heaven. With the gunners gone, we'd be fools not to use this place ourselves. That's why I think we should move our operation here. Begin to really scale things up. Maybe even start bringing in outside help. With a little effort, we could turn this place into a real headquarters.
I don't see how that helps us. We already have an HQ.
Don't get me wrong, the hardware store served us well. But when I first started using that place, no one knew who I was or what I was doing. Since then, we had to deal with raiders, gunners, random folks dropping by as they please. The place just ain't secure no more. But this plaza, we could really do something here. Start building something bigger, better.
Oh, XL is from Perchik. Yeah, Perchik's stuff is like, just amazing. Generally, just fixes all sorts of stuff. Perchik's the person who does all the advanced creation kits, right? Yeah, platform extended. Yeah, Perchik is a wizard. And basically anything they put out will probably improve your game and your creation kit experience. I did not know. This is the first time I've seen Excel.
It sounds like just what we need right now.
I knew you'd be on the same page. And this'll let us do some cool stuff. Let me show you what I mean.
Oh, it fixes the patchy beard bug that half of our male NPCs have. That's nice. That's on my. It's been on my to-do list to solve forever because I know roughly what I can change in the CK to solve it.
My guess is
It's
they were in a
doing
rush.
face edits in the
Maybe they
CK
just didn't
sucks.
care. With their leader gone, I suppose we'll never know the reason why. Anyway, after a little tinkering around, me and Lupe figured that we could do a better job.
Hey, Johnson Stevenson, how are you? Watchtower Starfield is amazing. Wish more content like that was coming. I mean, we will definitely get stuff like that eventually. We actually sent after Watchtower's launch, we sent a big memo to Bethesda requesting a lot of things so that we could do some of the other ideas we have for Starfield. But we have a lot of like tools and things we need because Starfield development is very challenging right now. There's a lot of limitations, particularly for team development. We don't have proper merge tools, so it's really painful to work on a big group project in Starfield currently. And there's a space limit. We had to cut content from Watchtower, so hopefully we'll do some more in the near future.
Allow me to introduce what we've dubbed the Comm Array.
We got our silly confetti.
Hey there.
Well, what do you think?
What I've seen so far is pretty impressive.
Really? You're not just being polite, are you? Hey, you should try connecting your Pip-Boy to it. Just connect your adapter plug to the port there. Go ahead, it won't bite.
And I had thought about, do I time it better like with the music? But I actually think it's funnier that it happens after the music. Like you get the big ta-da, and then you walk in and it's like, and you get the little silly confetti. Feels good like that. Makes it so like we're not taking the moment too seriously, right? Like when you're doing the big like reveal, it's like, oh, these guys are drinking their own Kool-Aid, and then you get the little,
Thanks to a little creative
and it
programming
kind of
by
cuts the.
yours truly, your pit boy now has a direct link to the Comm array, which means.
Are you kidding me? Again? This has got to be the 4th time today.
5th, I think.
How many times do I have to tell him? At this point, he's got to be doing it on purpose.
What's going on?
Sorry, I'll just be a minute. I gotta go take care of something.
Come on, Jake. That's not how you path there. Dog meat, get out of the way. You're confusing everyone. Oh yeah, oh, you were probably right. I probably did leave a bobblehead back there. Let's go grab that.
Hell yeah.
Thank you. And we do use a lot of ballistic guns, so.
What did I say about firing that turret off inside? With all this trash everywhere, you're gonna start a fire. And... Did you splash these power cables directly into the latch wiring? Do you have any idea how dangerous that is?
Especially in the rain there, Aiden. Come on.
To you. Besides, it's not my fault. I asked you to fix me up a generator hours ago.
Well, I'm sorry, but I've had more important things to do than help you play with guns.
What's this all about?
After I shared my plan for us to move in here, Aiden decided he wanted to stay as well. I said that was fine, providing he followed the rules.
Your rules, not mine. And just who put you in charge anyway? You can barely keep the lights on.
I never said I was in charge, but, well, someone's got to give the orders around here.
And that someone is you, is it?
Well, sure as hell ain't gonna be you.
Hey, calm down. Let's talk about this.
Huh. You know, I wouldn't actually mind taking orders, if it was from someone like you.
For once, I think I might agree with Aiden. You would make a good leader. And if we're gonna turn this place into a real headquarters, we're gonna need someone who can make the big decisions. I know this is rather sudden, but, well, I don't suppose you'd be interested in leading this place.
What would it mean to be in charge?
Well, once we're more established, you'd call the shots. You'd decide what we do and how we go about doing it. You'd be our leader. You'd be free to shape the kind of group we become.
All right. I'll do it.
Well, all hail to the chief. Maybe now we can get something done around here. As I'm sure you've already noticed, Jake's custodial skills are severely lacking.
Hey, that is not...
And mine aren't much better. If you want to get an HQ up and running, we need someone who knows how to clean up and manage a place like this. And I got just the person in mind.
Who are you talking about?
From what I understand, you already know him. Guy's name is Mansfield, Deputy Overseer of Vault 81. I think, if you offered him a job overseeing the plaza, he'd leap at the opportunity.
All right. I'll go talk to him.
Good. Now, I've got some lasers to go calibrate.
I'd never say it to his face, but now and again, Aiden does make some good suggestions. I'm often too busy to worry about things like basic maintenance or upkeep, but we wouldn't be able to start a real headquarters without it. If this Mansfield is willing, we should definitely bring him aboard. Okay then, we all got things to begin on with, so I'll see you later. Good luck with the town scouting, Chief.
Okay, let's go get some Mansfield. The roof's got a little bit of a leak, yeah. It's so funny. The game engine is very capable of blocking rain, but sometimes it chooses not to. Now, in this particular case, Actually, over there, we intentionally let the rain come in that room because you don't have, like, hold on, I'll go show up. The glass is not, like, look, it's all holes, so we let the rain come in. But later, you get a project where you can repair this, and sometimes it blocks the rain for people, and sometimes it doesn't. So I don't know if it's a case of, like, whatever the cell started with, that's the only spots it can block the rain. Maybe it just doesn't work dynamically. But I've seen for some people it does work dynamically, so I don't know. It's one of those things where if I had engine code access, I could absolutely solve. But since we don't, we accept that we have something kind of cool. Kind of works. All right, I guess we don't have to walk out. I forget we have fast travel enabled from here. Let's go do that. Recruit Mansfield, Vault 81. Off we go. I guess talking about the studio. Yeah, we have King Gath Creations. Right now we are doing, we like to call we're starting to call ourselves third-party DLC makers now, because we're trying to always match the quality of the base game. We're trying to hire back voice actors, make it more, try and make stuff that feels official, which is, Watchtower was part of that plan. And then, as we keep, and we're using the finances from that whole program to grow our team. We keep adding more people every year so that we can eventually, if it's in the cards, make our own games, which is a big challenge because it requires, there's a lot of foundation we get by working on these little DLC type things. We don't have to invent new gunplay, for example. We just get to go right to the fun stuff like making stories and stuff. And we don't have to deal with things like rain falling through roofs. We don't have to debug that. That's somebody else's job.
Oh, Erin, her cat got loose in the Commonwealth.
Hello. It's good to see you again. Welcome back to what's left of Vault 81. As you can see, we've been rather busy cleaning up.
Whoa. Some guard just moved me out of the way.
How are things in Vault 81?
Not good. To be perfectly frank with you, the vault is failing, and I fear there's nothing anyone can do about it.
Just curious.
Oh, well, it was nice talking with you again.
I kind of want to ask more about that. The vault is failing.
Don't make me regret letting you in here.
Yes. Hello.
Have you ever thought about leaving the vault?
If you'd asked me that but a few months ago, I'd have laughed at the notion. However, I'll admit, I have thought of leaving. But being Deputy Overseer of 81 is all I've ever known. Where would I even go?
What do you think about coming to work for me?
Really? Are you perhaps hiring for some sort of Deputy Overseer position? If it was anyone else asking, I'd probably turn them down, but considering it's you... Very well. I accept. I'll begin packing immediately. Oh, but first, I should inform the Overseer. If you'd excuse me.
I don't know why the camera keeps doing that weird thing. What's going on there? I've never seen that before.
Best behavior.
So I think I've shown this on... I think I showed this on my last playthrough of it, but if you follow him, he does actually go have a little conversation with the Overseer. These are the type of things we do very rarely, which I wish we would do more. I think this is the type of stuff where, like, when I see it happen in the base game or the DLC, this is why Bethesda stuff is special, right? Because they like continue, like the story, like the world continues to go on without you instead of it being all around. Only the things that you will see 100% of the time. It's cool to see stuff the characters do when you're not around, like kind of when you're not around, right? When you're not expected to actually follow them, it's cool that they actually go do it. I think that was one of the things I would love to see in Starfield resolved. Maybe a mod can do it, but I kind of get why they didn't do it. Would be giving all the people like real packages, like give every character a house and a schedule so that they go home and live a life instead of like shopkeepers who just are kind of there 24/7 in it, or in some systems 48/4 or whatever the heck. I know they've got those signs about different. Daytime, different times and such.
Hello? Testing. 1, 2, 1, 2. Hey, can you hear me?
I hear you. Loud and clear.
Right back at you. I got so distracted by Aiden, I forgot to tell you about your Pip-Boy's upgrade. Well, better late than never. So, congratulations. You are now the proud owner of a fully functional two-way Pip-Boy radio. No more tuning into pre-recorded broadcasts. Now you got the direct line. You can contact anyone at the HQ, whenever you like.
Dun, 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 dun. How many people get jump scared every time that pop-up happens?
Sounds useful.
Damn right it is. With a two-way radio, you'll no longer have to come all the way back just to give me updates. Should make staying in contact a lot easier. Speaking of, how'd it go at the vault? Did you manage to get that Mansfield guy?
Yep.
Oh, great. I look forward to meeting him. Say, what's he like?
He's a pain.
He's a very dedicated man.
Why do I get the feeling dedicated really means something else? All right. Head on back to the plaza once you're ready, and let's see what this new guy can do.
Okay. Here's where we've got a lot of work to do, because now we're getting into HQ stuff. So this is where, like, the first thing I know we got to do, and we're not going to do this on camera because it'll take me forever, is I owe you guys some tutorials for HQ, like in-game tutorials like we have for the war mechanics. That never made it onto my to-do list before we launched the patch for the HQ overhaul. As I was always like, I should do those, and I had Sir Rick write up some new dialogue for Mansfield to hand the player a holotape, and then it was like, it's going to take me too long to do the tutorials, and we need to get this patch out because HQ, desperately needed an automated mode at the time. So now I got to go back and do those tutorials. Because I think from a lot of feedback I get from HQ is one was it's too complex, and then another's too confusing, and often those two things are kind of related. So it's like, all right, so we can simplify it immediately by just automating it so that you don't have to understand it. And then the second part would be actually trying to teach people a little more in depth how it works.
So I did. I moved on to something else.
Currently en route to...
Macronomicus, I like how they... I just realized I'm way behind on chat. They added the texture effect in Starfield's rain doesn't make cover surface shiny wet. Yeah, I agree. And it gets really bad in some places of Fallout. Like, there's a bug on the Xbox version of SS2 where all of the Nightingales just look like big walking pieces of chrome. King Gath the movie on Prime. What? Is there a name? Is there a movie named King Gath coming to Prime? Because that would be hilarious and crazy.
There's just no winning with you, is there? You said stop using turrets inside, so I did. I moved on to something else.
Come here.
Yeah, you moved on to planting landmines.
Excuse
What
me.
am I meant to do, Jake?
Hey, Phil.
I'm only one man. I can't watch every door. Besides, I was just testing them. I had Teresa disable the charge in each mine. None of them
We
would
were
have
just,
exploded.
Waiting for Mansfield.
Is he here yet?
No, not yet. So you did tell him where he'd be working, right? Like he knows to come to the plaza.
I think so. I'm not sure.
Hello? Hello? Ah, that must be him now. Hey!
See, dog meat, you gonna break the scene?
We'd better move out. Good luck.
Thank you for your help. A safe journey back to the vault.
Bye-bye, Vault Tech Security.
Hello. Nice to meet you all. I'm Mansfield, former Deputy Overseer of Vault 81.
Yeah, we know.
Oh, right. Of course.
Are you alright? You seem kind of tense.
Oh, it's just being outside the vault is all still rather new to me. It's quite overwhelming. But I'm sure I'll get used to it in time. For now, I suppose I should start getting settled into my new position here. So, where might I find my office?
Welcome to the team, Mansfield. I'm Jake. If you want an office, there's a few rooms up top you might like. Feel free to help yourself.
Up top? You mean, in here? Surely you can't be serious. This place is piled high with trash. It's dilapidated. It's literally dripping with filth.
Well, yeah. That's why we asked you to come work with us. We need your expertise to clear this place out. Help get everything tidy and organized.
Oh, Cedric. What have you gotten yourself into?
What was it you were expecting?
I suppose I just assumed you were more established. But then, besides the vault, I have no reference for such things. Perhaps this level of squalor is normal?
It's all right. We'll work on this together.
Of course, we're all in the same boat after all. The same filthy boat. And thus begins my exciting new career, teaching sanitation. Very well. If you need this facility cleared of all this garbage, pay attention. I shall demonstrate some of the basics.
All right, go ahead.
Now, watch carefully. You there.
Yeah?
Congratulations. You're a janitor. Grab a broom and get cleaning.
Oh, okay.
There. You see? That wasn't so hard, was it?
I love this moment. My favorite part about that moment is the first time we all saw it when we were playing through it is like this pop-up just accentuated like how ridiculous he makes it seem. Like, look, it's so easy. You just give a guy a broom and make him go to work for you. And it wasn't meant to be a funny moment, but we just left it in here like this because it made us all giggle a little bit to have Cedric kind of talking smack to you. So we get our little messages here to explain things. So this was like our original intention to tutorialize, was just like, oh, we'll just explain things with some basic pop-ups and we'll just slowly give you objectives to do it. But, you know, after releasing, even during alpha, we could tell that there was a lot to be learned. But it's always the trouble always with our alpha testing is it tends to be the same handful of people for the long haul. So after we give them, 10 different versions, they're kind of used to it. So then they stop giving us the feedback of like, this is confusing. So then we kind of lose sight of it. And then once we release it, and then everybody's like, there is so much to understand here. And that's where we circle back to be like, okay, HQ will be automated by default. And then I'll add some in-depth tutorials so people can, and like the goal with the system for the tutorials will be the same way the war mechanic tutorials work, where you can run them over and over again. So it'll be like, you can run the tutorials on demand and decide like, all right, I'm still not getting it. Let me do it again, see if it clicks, so that hopefully we can help people along. So that's what I have to make still. Colin Powder has the recurring color flicker. Is that from the streaming or mod issue? That is from having weather enabled inside of this cell. So the weather in this part of the game world is very stormy, and they apply, it's like almost, it's on the verge of being rad storms all the time. So it just like that lightning flashes just makes the colors all weird in here.
You have a real low opinion of wastelanders, don't you? Believe it or not, most of us know how to clean.
The state of our current surroundings would beg to differ. How'd you even allow things to deteriorate this badly? Who's the head of facilities?
We don't have one. In fact, we don't really have no heads of anything.
No department heads? No wonder you're in such disarray. You can't expect to run a facility without clear, predefined roles.
Okay.
If we're gonna start assigning roles, I'm taking charge of security.
Hey, if Aiden gets security, then I'm calling head of engineering.
Slow down. It's not a competition. Assuming you're both qualified for those positions, that should be fine. Since you've no head of facilities, I'll fulfill that role. Now, usually in a vault, department heads answer directly to an overseer. Which I suppose in this case would be you, yes?
Yes, that's right.
Well then, we'll be relying on you to direct each department as you see fit.
Anything else I should know?
Be aware that jobs you assign will take time, but once they're complete, you shall be informed and able to make full use of said assignment's results.
Let's do this.
Yes. Well, please, proceed at your leisure.
Hey, Chief. If it's okay with you, I'm gonna go find us a proper meeting room. I mean, this atrium's nice and all, but I prefer someplace less drafty and with better seating. Come on, kid, you're helping.
I am? Oh, okay.
Okay, and now we start our little mini tutorial. So this is kind of like, this part we're not going to change. We're going to have this little mini tutorial in so that people have a chance to understand the basics. And then basically a lot of the tutorials I put in the holotape will be recaps of this, and then probably going into more depth on some of the stuff where people get hung up on. So we get, tons of questions from new players about all the stuff around this. So this is going to be just a giant exercise of me over-explaining. I'm going to have to play the role of Mansfield, and I think I saw you guys say chat Mansfield explain, which is hilarious. Mansfield explain everything and have to get into like nitty-gritty details. And likely what I'll do is I'll probably put up on the forums at some point, like, here is a list of ideas I have for mini tutorials, and then let you guys suggest all like additional stuff. Like, where else are there like little bits where you had trouble understanding at the beginning, or other people have, where I could break it down even further. And there's some stuff that I don't know, that's going to be either very tricky to tutorialize, or maybe just the way it's initially presented just needs to be rethought, and that there is no good tutorial for it because it's overcomplicated. But so the idea, what we're trying to start up at the beginning, is one department at a time, and that each department has a stat associated with it. So that's kind of like the first idea we're trying to encounter here, and then we're trying to show you like what the departments do. So the facilities department is cleaning and building, so we're going to start with that. And then, of course, we introduce command mode as our alternative name for workshop mode, because this is not workshop mode. You're not meant to build things manually. So then we can go in here. We have our different sub menus, and hopefully this, some of this stuff, there's a point of over explaining where it gets silly, right? Like, or if I did constant pop-ups to be like, you're in the HQ menu here, you can do this. Like, at some point, if you imagine you went to workshop mode in the base game, and every time you popped open a menu, like a pop-up came up and be like, this is the power menu, these items can be powered. Like, it's like at some point you just have to trust that your user base aren't stupid. So there is going to be a limit of like how much we explain in pop-up form, and then some of this will have to be relegated to tutorials of like, all right, some people find this unclear, let's give them a spot to learn it so that they don't have to exit the game, right? That's kind of the hope, is people don't have to exit the game to learn everything they need to know. There are certain things where that's kind of unavoidable, or it's okay. Like, for example, having a list to reference of all the different building plans or all the different jobs that are available in here, I think is okay to have outside the game, just as a convenience, right? Like, if you want to go look for that, I don't think it needs to be a separate list of like, hey, you can go look at this terminal and look at all the possible jobs that you might want to do. Like, it's like, oh, they're already in here in the game. They're just not organized in a way maybe that everybody wishes for. Some of this would be resolved, and I think the biggest complaint we get about this place initially is it's confusing. And I think that's just, you think about any dungeon that you play through a lot, and it's like for example, Corvega, I bet 90% of you would get lost if I told you, like, all right, I want you to go to a specific room and named a room in Corvega, and you'd be like, I think I go through here and no, I got to double back. And this just takes time. Like, I know my way backward and forward through HQ now because I've been working with this for so long, but for the first like couple of months we were developing on this, we'd always get confused about what rooms were where and everything. So it's pretty normal. It would be nice to have better map system. Like, we have, what we ended up doing for the map, is that we have two things down in the bottom there. You can see there's like a little spinning icon of it, and you can see like, okay, the big circle is the atrium, right? So that room is going to be this one over here, right? You can kind of tell that. The problem is the spinning. If the spinning would stop, it would be a lot easier to get yourself oriented. Or imagine if the spinning only happened as your character moved, so that it was always oriented in a way that matched what you were facing. But that is the type of HUD stuff that we can't do natively. We would need to basically recompile the game UI to support that, and that is not something that I am interested in doing, because we want to be able to support Xbox players. So there was some amount of stuff where we can't do in the base game without script extender, so that also limits ourselves. So let me see what the objectives are here. I kind of want to just go through this right now and think about it from perspective of how clear is this from a new player perspective. So if we look at our so start a cleaning project in command mode, right? Well, we just explained to you command mode. So it would be nice if the top left corner up there, hold to open the workshop menu while in this build area. If that said command menu, again, that would require me to change the UI files, which I don't want to do, although I guess we could do them as a replacer, and then if people have another mod that alters them. My bet is there really aren't any mods that alter those. Are you guys aware of any mods that alter the workshop menus? Are there, like, I know with, like, a lot of people use Def UI and stuff, but I bet that does not touch the workshop HUD at all. So if we pop into here and and you were told to clean, there's not that many menus to dig through, right? So it shouldn't be, this one I feel like shouldn't be too big a problem. Has any of you got hung up on this very first one, or is this one pretty clear? Of like, run a cleaning project. Okay, I dug through all the menus, I found clean, and there's only one project, so I guess I better run that one. Okay, and then we added this. I think this we added as part of the 2.0 patch. All projects assigned are added to the department's task list. Each department will automatically handle these projects as resources and staff become available. Access command mode to trigger departments to start their work. So that was something we added so that it's automated now. So like the task list just automates everything. You don't have to worry about your resources. You just give them the project and they will take care of it as you give them enough people. Projects are started, they added the department's workload for the day. It's indicated by the green meter at the top of the HUD. Once a project is complete, the department's workload will reduce, freeing them to do additional projects. For the sake of this tutorial, projects will take just a few minutes. So
Hi,
I guess one problem is we call it the green meter, which is only the case if you have your UI set to green, like mine is set to white right now, so it's showing the colors. And I have my UI set to white because we're testing out a companion status HUD mod. Hold on, let me find you guys that while we're talking about this and we're waiting for this problem. I should just leave it on pause for the project to complete. Let me find, so we built, so Erica and I are building a mod that is like 99% finished. There were just some, Sasori played through it and had some ideas for improvement, or played with it. It's not a quest mod. Let me find the one that we're trying to emulate. Companion status this. So I'm going to post you guys a link. So we did something based on this idea. I'm going to paste it in chat. Where the hell is my chat? Here we go. So this thing you guys can see. So we're working on a mod that's like this. And basically we're going to have character icons in Erica's style for all of the base game and DLC companions, as well as all SS2 characters. And so that way, when you have your little, either you're using ours as a companion, or you have like an army of soldiers and they're named characters, you will see little icons and health meters in the corner. So we are so close to being done with it. It all functions. I'm trying to make it work a little better with workshop mode and with SS2's HUD, and then I'll be ready for release. So it might come out at any time now. It's just a matter of just squeezing it in my schedule to work on it, because I have so many things going on now between work, home, and KGC, and patches, and all the charity events we've been doing, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, so we're going to have our own version of that mod coming out soonish, and you guys will be able to have these adorable little icons of all the SS2 characters, including Jake and friends. Okay, so now we finished the cleaning, so we get to the room construction. Once the room is clean, construction projects for that room become available to the facilities department. Construction projects use a variety of scrap and supplies to make the room functional, providing benefits to HQ, such as increasing the max number of people, opening up new jobs, triggering unlocks. Okay, so now we get the objective, start a facilities construction project. And maybe that's what I should do for the first one. Hold on, let's see that. I actually like, maybe I need to do that for the, see, we have start a cleaning project in command mode. Maybe I should do it like this, the start a facilities / cleanup project. Maybe I should standardize the objectives. That would be an easy change, and we'll make it slightly easier for people to find it. Hey Kaz, how are you? Alright, so actually let me go, I can make that change really easily. That is, let me load up chapter 2. So this is 2C2. I know I'm not, you guys don't see this right now because this is such a silly little change that it doesn't seem necessary. Anyone who is working with quests and wants to learn on this stuff, one of the first things you will figure out is how to change quest objectives. It's just updating a text string. And hopefully not crashing, because sometimes the objective screen crashes the game. So start the facilities. And then what does that mean? Hold on, I'm looking at the game here. What is is it called cleanup? I think we named the submenu. Oh, I can't see it now because there's none available. I'm pretty sure it's clean-up. So I'm gonna, a cleanup project in command mode. All right, there we go. We're gonna update that objective to match. And I'll probably do that throughout. So I wanna just leave the objective screen open on this other computer because I'm betting there's gonna be others that I should standardize this. All right, let's build Mansfield's office. Project added to the task list. Most construction is completed as part of the daily tasks, but more advanced construction might take several days. For the sake of the tutorial, construction projects won't spend any extra resources and will last just a few minutes. Okay, I'll let that run. Hey, didn't Mansfield give you a broom? What's going on, buddy?
Hello. Error. Error. Long time no see.
Oh. Gotta grab that shiny blue.
Hey.
I'm ready to do something if you need it.
Working on that. We haven't learned about your department yet, Aiden. Oh, I guess we could have went and watched the construction for Mansfield's office. Oh, too late. All right, let's go talk to Mansfield in his office.
Huh? Ah, well, that's a bit more like it. Now that it's clear of most of the filth and has some usable furniture, this should make for an acceptable workspace. Thank you.
So yeah, I think this was the scene we added with the HQ 2.0 patch.
Thanks for your help.
Oh, well, you're welcome. But this is only the start of the process, you understand. There's still much more for us to do. So, now you've seen what it takes to run a proper facility. Obviously, you don't do the work yourself, but it does require direct supervision. However, your direct involvement isn't strictly necessary. If you prefer, your department heads can delegate things such as cleaning, repairs, and room allocation, allowing your HQ to run autonomously, leaving yourself free to be as involved or as deferential as you'd like. As our overseer, the decision is, of course, yours.
Can you run this place by yourself?
I'd say so. Your department head could handle everything. And you wouldn't need to worry about building up the facility. The downside is they may make decisions you don't like. But you can always overrule them and assign a different task instead.
This sounds good.
Understand, I'm only offering suggestions. You should proceed in a way that feels right to you. Do you feel you've an adequate comprehension of running your facility? If not, I can always offer further tutoring on what to do next. Oh, also, on your stance regarding HQ autonomy, I will require a formal spoken decision. It's for the paperwork, you understand.
Okay, so now we can actually, and actually we baked this in, and most of you guys know this has been a thing. It looks like Mystic, this is your first time seeing this. But yeah, this has been in for over a year now, I think. But we're just going over it to see if there's things that I should improve with it. So like right from this point, you can basically say skip the tutorial and not have to do all the little extra bits. And then I think they just get auto-assigned and tasks. I'm actually going to see what happens if I do skip tutorial full automation because I don't remember. And we're going to actually, let's back out of this conversation and we'll save. Let's see. Save pre-automation decision because I might play through. I kind of want to play through with the without the automate or without the skipping the tutorial, just so that we can walk through the tutorial and improve it. But I do kind of want to see what happens when you skip it because I can't remember. Skip tutorial, full automation.
I don't need another lecture. This is between you folks. You'll work it out.
Of course. I'm sure you know what you're doing. Also, I'll set up workstations for each department head. That way, if you change your mind or want to take direct control of any or all departments, just leave a note at the specific workstation. And even with everyone acting autonomously, you can still assign tasks yourself. Anything you assign will naturally receive priority. Here, you should take this holotape.
Here's the holotape that I have to fill out still.
Most of the information on it should be applicable to you in this facility. I suppose that's all for now. Thank you for the office. It should certainly help with my settling down here. Oh, yes, come in.
Oh, hey. We've a bit of a problem.
What's the problem?
Oh, that's right.
Building supplies.
We moved this scene
Use them all
here
up.
as an
We
alternative.
can't do no more projects.
I'm surprised you didn't have more materials on hand. Has there been some sort of disruption to our supply chain? Oh, let me guess. We don't have a supply chain.
Yeah, so if you skip the tutorial, we just jump to this scene and we just were like, oh, since Mansfield's going to be in his office, we can just have those two show up rather than you running into the three of them in a hallway.
Sorry, no.
Then I suppose we'll have to start setting some up, won't we? I understand you own and operate a number of settlements. Perhaps we could take the supplies we need from one of them.
Whoa, hold on. You can't just take people's stuff like that.
Why not?
Why not? Look, I don't know how stuff works in a vault.
The random
but
ghoul
here,
just hanging out there.
People have independence, and they work hard for what they got. If we go demanding what's theirs, then we're no better than the gunners in my book.
She's right.
You're damn right I am. Glad you understand.
So what do you propose we do instead?
Well, instead of just taking from people, why not just ask them to donate what they got spare? Providing we ask nicely. I bet most people helped by ASAMs would be happy to send us what they can.
If we're putting it to a vote, I vote for the Ask Nicely plan?
I have my doubts. But you know the people of the Commonwealth better than I. If you think asking nicely would work, then go ahead. I shall await the bountiful inflow of supplies with bated breath.
It'll work. Don't worry.
I think so too, but maybe first, we should try asking someone more likely to say yes. Hey, you know who we should talk to? Stodge and the others. I bet they'd be willing to send some supplies and materials our way.
Can you imagine if you like fought through a raider gang and you get to the head of the food chain and it's just this nervous ex-vault dweller? It's just ordering everybody around.
I'd be glad to talk to them.
All right. I'll meet you there.
If you can get the supplies, I'll make sure they're all organized and stored properly. That way we can use them as soon as they arrive. I should get back to work. Hope everything goes well at the settlement.
Okay. So now I think when you skip the tutorial, some of those stages just start running in the background. So you can see it's like searching for projects and it just started up a clean project on its own.
Yes.
What's interesting though is it should not be posting the prompts there because that's confusing. So that's like a little bit of polish I can do. I'd have to figure out what project that was that ran. It may have been something to do with the tutorial projects maybe are the cause of that. I actually kind of want to see if another one happens like that automatically because you shouldn't be getting those little notices during automation because it'd be quite obnoxious. But I don't recall in my other playthrough getting those constantly.
Excellent.
Finish the project, large living quarters. Oh, that's right, yeah. So they're starting the living quarters project so that search for available room usage options. Yeah, I'm going to go check and see on the dev machine what's going on here. All right, let's see. Oh man, I've got so much stuff open on this computer. Just a minute. Searching for available room options. I want to figure out where that is running from and what makes it show on screen. Actually, you know what? I think I may already have it set up so that it only shows these messages when you're in HQ. So that might actually be fine. Because you kind of want to know that stuff's happening while you're there, right? Just, but can you imagine if you're out in the Commonwealth and you're just getting these constant HQ updates? I can see that becoming really... And maybe that is what happens now. But I could see that becoming annoying. Like, it's fun to see the... I think it's fun to see the plot and city messages because they don't happen that often because there's days between them. But with the HQ, especially when you're on the fast mode, it goes real fast. Let's see here. HQ Action Manager. And you guys can't see once again. I am just double checking something here. Alright, I gotta find what this message box is called. There are so many... Here, I'm gonna bring you guys a dev machine for a second. There are so many... Look at all these messages we have to run HQ. There's just hundreds of these message objects. Let's see. Gathering HQ room options. No, that's not the one we're looking for. Okay, it's not a warning. What is this message called? There's not a great... Okay, let's see. I can search by... Like, look at the name. Maybe I put the name there, too. No, I guess not. I don't think you can see in a long list. Yeah, it doesn't show the full content of the message, so I kind of got to open them up one at a time. Actually, let's see. Let's check our HQ Action Manager. Look at for the .show, which is when messages get shown. Let's see here. HQ messages being toggleable. I think they are toggleable. What I'm hoping for is I would like to see... I think it would feel good if they were... By default, they were off when you're outside of HQ. Especially when you're, at least when you're on the, what do you call it? The fast time, the, like the, I don't remember what we call the options. There's an option where everything happens really quickly. And so with like the combination of that plus automation would make it so that you could get pretty heavily spammed with these messages. But again, if you're in HQ, I think it would feel cool. Like, oh, I'm seeing constant progress while I'm hanging out here. But if you're just out in the world, it could just, the left side of your screen could become quite the cluster. Let's see here. Notifications, HQ automated project completion. Yeah, so we already have actually separate options. We have, you can flag whether you want automation notifications to happen, on or off, and then we have a separate setting for like manual projects that you started. So we actually already covered this. What I'm curious about is did we do anything with this related to whether or not you are in HQ? So let's check. I'm going to search for this particular global here, miscellaneous global, and let's see where this gets referenced. So it's referenced at the terminal. Is it not being used anywhere else? Well, we may have referenced, occasionally we reference this stuff by ID, or it may have been only in chapter 2 that it gets referenced. So let me search for this in the chapter 2 ESM. Miscellaneous global. Is this being used? Yeah, this is being used in chapter 2. No, still only by the city plan options. So then I'm guessing we must be referencing it by this ID. So I got to search our code for it. So let's see. We're going to search for A560D. Let's see if it comes up in any of the open, not in any of the open documents, but it could be in some of the rest of the code base. So I'll open containing folder. All right, we'll use my trusty ultra search. We'll check the full code base and see if this, oops, no, I don't want to look for that. I want that ID number, which I forgot to copy to my clipboard. So we want to search for, is anywhere in the code, are we doing a get form from file to load up this particular global and check it? Because if not, then that means that this is not useful. It's probably set up in the terminal and is not doing anything. Okay, yeah, here, HQ utility function. So I did code it as a, I gotta search for it again. Let's see, what is that function called? Are action executions notifications enabled? Let's check. Is that being used anywhere? Okay, we'll do it again. We'll search the full code base. This is basically my hack because I'm not using an IDE for all you programmers out there. This is my IDE search. IDEs drive me insane with all their automation features. So I've just rarely ever used them unless I'm forced to. Like those with a good, when I'm working with a language that needs to be compiled, that is not this, I will use it, but generally, I just like my Notepad++. Okay, so it's in HQ action. So basically we are showing them even when you're out and about, which is interesting. I could add that as another option. It could be like, so if we go into our terminal options, we can make something like that's like so it's either on, off, or only show when I'm in HQ. That could be a cool addition. I'm going to actually write that down. I'm not going to add it right now, but I'll add that to my list of like, this could be a nice quality of life improvement. Let's see. So add third option to HQ notifications. Okay, add that to my to-do list for some future time when I'm messing with these terminals is always a lengthy process. So, all right, let's bring you guys back into the game, and let me catch up on chat real quick here because I think I skipped, or I've been not paying attention for a minute. Let's see here. Oh, did we spell bated breath wrong? I see you guys talking about that. Let me check. Do I need to fix a subtitle there? Let's see, that would be MQ23. No, MQ24. Do we spell it baited with a I, like baiting for fish? Let's see, baited, find text. All right, B-A-I-T-E-D does not come up in search, so I'm hoping that we did not make that mistake. Would not be shocked. I would not have caught that for sure, and if I was in charge of a spell check. It is misspelled? Okay. Let's see. What scene is that? That is... See, that is the project's finished scene. We go over to Mansfield after the... Oh yeah, it's spelled correctly here. With I await the bountiful inflow of supplies with bated breath. B-A-T-E-D breath. B-A-T-E-D. There's no I in there. Okay, cool. It would not have put it past us to have made that mistake. All right. Hello, Teal Spitz. How are you? I think the message meaning toggleable would be a good idea. Yeah, I think we were talking about that. So I'll just make them more toggleable. They are toggleable. We'll just give more options. I think it'll be good. Well, there's a lot of talk about this bated breath. Is there a way to get cola to HQ? Yes, there is, Kaz. After there's an event that happens. All right, if you haven't played through all of SS2, plug to your ears for about 30 seconds. Okay, spoilers on. After Old Paul's funeral, you get the option to send cola anywhere you like. Can you explain globals a bit? So a global is basically just a number that gets stored and it's always accessible in the game. So it's always loaded in memory. So you can use a global to store any bit of information. So you can imagine like a number could represent, you know, a number like how many caps does the player have in their inventory, or, you know, what hour of the day is it, which there actually is a global that tracks the hour of the day. It's called game hour. And if you query that, and you can get a number between 0 and 23, which will tell you what hour in the game it is. And you can just fetch that global and know that. So if you need it for something. You can also use globals to represent information. This is just a coding trick. We call it enumerating a value. So you could say that, like, you know, say we have the 7 departments in HQ, right? We could say that 0 equals facilities, 1 equals engineering, 2 equals security, etc. So we have a number for each of them, and then we store that number in a global for something. Maybe we need to know, like, what is the most recent used department, and then we can just store that as a number in a global, and then anything can access that information quickly because it's stored in this easily accessible record. So a global is just a MISC object that holds a number. It's up to you how to make use of them. FC Wolf, hello. HQ is some chapter 2 stuff. Actually, it is. It used to be a pretty mandatory system, and now it kind of still is. There is one quest that requires it, but it will just finish itself eventually. It takes a while, and you know, there's definitely a point where you'd want to focus on it if you want to move the story forward more quickly, but you could, in theory, just let it run itself. I think the only thing you have to do is just keep recruiting people to HQ. Like, that would be your primary role of, like, watch your quests, and eventually you'll get to a point where it's like, it needs a certain amount of energy in this department. So you just go and recruit settlers to fill that role. There is something, I think, you know, this is another thing we should add at this phase. I'm not, again, some of this stuff I'm going to just talk about doing. I'm not going to do it all on camera because I know it'll take a lot of troubleshooting and going back and forth. But I think a project we really need in HQ is for the admin department to do like a hiring thing where it's like, you know, find me recruit a settler of X, and then it'll be like, you can let the player get free HQ settlers with like a random stat between like 3 and 6 or something, right? Where it's of that stat. So you can basically go let the player get settlers without having to go empty their settlements. I think that would be a nice feature. And I have to just figure out what the balance is, and like maybe we could upgrade it to where it could be like higher standards, and that could be a HQ project, and maybe that costs some amount of money, and that makes it so that the new people that admin recruits are higher quality, but maybe there's a chance of fail. You know, we can gamify this. I think there could be an HQ direct recruitment system that's gamified for the admin department. I think that could make the admin department a lot more fun. I'm gonna write that down on I think I already have a lot of notes on this to do, but it's one of those things that's just like I have a monster pile of notes on various hard drives, notepads, literal physical note cards, and it's like, it's time to move on some of this stuff. So I'm gonna write this down: admin department recruitment minigame, we're gonna call it, to make that department more interesting, as a way also to let the player kind of bypass having to empty their settlements. Even though I think that's part of the overall point, right, is HQ was originally designed of like, oh, this would be a cool place for you to gather all your favorite people. That's why they have higher stats, but you don't want to force that. I like giving players options, so it's like you can kind of, you know, play this game however you want, have your characters live where you want. It's like, no, I really want like Franklin and the Powell family to all live in a settlement together. I don't want to have to recruit them to HQ, right? You should have players have that option. All right, scrolling back through chat again. King Gastric need to grind and WoW addiction out on this. Do fans of the HQ grind? I mean, we got rid of it eventually. It just took me a while to get there. But now I want to add more methods to bypass it, right? More mechanisms so that you still want to do something so that the player feels like, oh, HQ's mine and I invested in it, but it doesn't need to be tasks that people don't enjoy. So I thought about also adding an option to be like skip cleaning, where you could like do something and just like have it just insta clean the whole place, you know, when you leave and come back or something, or make that a cheaty project. I don't know how to best do that. Like, to me, the automated system kind of is that. Like, if you just keep sending more people and putting them in the facilities department, you'll find that HQ just ends up clean rather quickly. All right, let's head over to Sunshine Tidings. Wait a second, why is it Sunshine Tidings? I don't even have a map. Wait, did I lose the map marker because I got attacked and I ignored it? Why is Sunshine not? Because I own Sunshine. Oh wait, I bet she's just not there yet. Sunshine's not right there. She's just walking there still. That's probably what it is. Because Sunshine's over here. So Teresa's just on her way still. Okay. I don't know why she went way up there. That's weird. We'll just go to here. Teresa cutscenes doing interviews. Yeah, I don't know how advanced we'll get with the admin mini game of, like, you know, because you could imagine something like in Vault 88, right, where you have to interview those people who come into the vault. I wasn't thinking anything that advanced. I was thinking more like, you know, one of the ideas with the HQ system was that we didn't want it to just be stuff that we could add. We wanted it to be like add-on pack authors could make new projects that are that change the gameplay and stuff, where like somebody could add that in as a coded project. It's an advanced mod, but it wouldn't, if it doesn't require dialogue, it becomes pretty easy for anybody to do. So that's kind of what I was thinking. It would be more like a mini game in the sense of choosing what projects to do. So it'd be relatively simple. I guess we could, because the problem if we do it voiced is then we basically have to create a full suite of voice for, you know, how many NPCs do we do to make that interesting, right? Do I have to do 10 different voices, 20 different voices? And then that becomes just a massive project as opposed to like something I could do as a patch. So it's probably not going to be interviews, I would think. Because the other, like, we could try and do it with vanilla lines, but that would be very limited, very limited. Lost again. Yeah, wait, where is Sunshine? Why is it up here now? Uh-oh. Looks like an attack's about, either an attack's about to start or the wiring here is bad. I could see either. We're gonna start by turning off these alarms manually and see if that... Sometimes when you build these in a city plan, they just decide to turn on sometimes when the power gets updated.
You gotta take things one day at a time.
Yes.
Then I came here.
Crop's been growing pretty good lately.
Alright, where's the other ones? Oh, you can see some plots underground because this is our vault settlement. This place is nuts. Oh, that one turned itself off. That was weird. They're all supposed to turn themselves off. We have code in place to do that, but there's so much code that runs with city plans that... Luck training, cool. There we go. There's 8 of these alarms here? Oh, okay. Well, I think we got them all. One of them turned itself off, so I think they probably all would have if I was just... What are you doing up there, Julia?
People aren't too different from Brahmin. Their fertilizer just smells worse.
Okay. You know what else we need to do? We should check is... Did any new settlers show up here? Because I feel like this has been our hub for drawing on new people. Oh, there's Stodge. Yeah, we can talk to him.
Hi.
Oh, hold on, not yet.
So you're the general.
Okay, fine.
Of the Minutemen? I heard it on the radio. Freedom Radio. Or Radio Freedom, was it? So, I'd like to report a, crime. It has to do with the Quincy massacre, where all those Minutemen died. I know who's responsible.
I'm listening. Go ahead.
A while back, I overheard a traitor out of Quincy in the Dugout Inn. He was shit-faced, going on and on about how Quincy was safer than Diamond City. Some lowlife kept goading him about Quincy's defenses. And that idiot traitor took the bait. I think. I was drinking heavy myself that night. But look, Quincy got hit 3 days later. I knew it wasn't coincidence. I think the traitor, I think he's the reason all those people died.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I mean, no. I mean...
Mr. Game, I keep meaning to ask, is possible to have radios default to off in plots?
For sure.
I believe we have a script for that. Hold on, let me check while we're listening to No Man here.
I'll find him. You have my word.
It's not that easy. And I don't want to accuse him if he's innocent. Look, I'm not asking for you to do anything. But if Quincy ever flies the Minuteman banner again, just, keep your eyes open, yeah? Look for anything that mentions Danny V. That's the traitor. Maybe you won't find anything, and that's, also fine. But if Danny V sold out Quincy, his accounts need settling. If he has all that blood on his hands, I will tell you exactly where to find him.
So I can't find anything. I can't find anything directly related to that in our list of scripts. But yes, you should be able to. Oh, we got another new settler. Okay, but first we got to turn off these alarms, or they drive us all insane. So you would basically add a script to your radio that was like, what would you do on that? I'd have to think about it for a while. It would basically, you'd do something like add a script on it that said event on a net, parenthesis, open parenthesis, close parenthesis, activate, and then call activate on it, open parenthesis, close parenthesis, and that in theory should make it so that when it first loads up, it disables itself, but I'd have to test that to be certain. And then the player would have to turn it on manually. Because radios don't require power, so they just kind of are on. What you'd want to do is place... There are different radios. If you go look in the CK under the activators, you'll see that there are different radios, some that start on and some that start off. So you would just want to use ones that are off, I believe. That would probably be easier than trying to write a script to do it. Let me see here. I think that's the case. Let me check under radio, activator. I believe there's some that just start off. Yeah. So if you look up compare Radio Institute receiver to Radio Institute receiver off, and you'll see that they're... Oh my god. Madness. Anyway, you'll see that there's a lot of receivers. There's on and off versions. Okay, I think we're stuck with the... You know what? No, we're not. We're not. We have the power. We are in charge here. Sorry, settlers of Sunshine Tidings. Your siren privileges have been revoked. Sweet sound of silence. Yeah, so if you look at the difference between those on and off receivers, you should be able to make yourself a version. Whatever radio you want, there probably already exists an off version, or you can make yourself one when you compare the difference to find the difference between those two. I kind of want to... Okay, we're going to add this to the list. I don't know even where to begin to fix this siren issue, so I'm not going to bore you guys with me trying to figure that out, but I'm going to write it down of, like, city plan sirens. Won't STFU. We're gonna get that on our fix list. Look at everybody. Everybody's so upset now. Okay, let's find. There was a new settler that tried to talk to me. Another one. Not you. You're a visitor. I think it was Paige, wasn't it? It was Paige Hunter.
You should know, people have been complaining a bit about the bed situation.
Well, they see we already did her quest, because I know we have, we've got the Batter Up Buttercup on the bar here. Where did she, I mean, I wonder if she just like took off when she couldn't handle the alarms, so she just left. She's like, F this town. Hey, there's Batter Up. I don't blame you, Paige. Find somewhere else to live. This place is obnoxious.
Well, hello.
Sleeping on the ground isn't fun. Do you think we could get more beds?
Oh, are you short on housing? Yep, they're short on housing, all right. 25 out of 22 people. Well, it's just too many people living here. I think you've got to have a vote and send some people packing. It's probably my fault. I probably kept sending people here. I guess we could build some houses on the surface here, even though we're messing with the city plan. Let's see. We'll go ahead and give them a residential plot. Let's see, where could we squeeze one? I'm going to squeeze one right back here. You can live... Wait, that's a... Okay, maybe not on top of the Marshall plot. How about right here? We'll block some pathing over here. Can we hook this into the grid anywhere? And he's really got his power connections hidden in this city plan. Butchering Carvock's beautiful design with my haphazard placement. Alright, we're going to cheat this one a little bit. Float it over here. I'll put that back. There we go. No problem. Alright, did that work? Yeah, we got power. Alright, and then we'll turn this into a multi-person, and then hopefully that'll solve our housing needs here. Okay, multi-person, yes please. Oh, it's gonna, I forgot we changed the system now. I didn't grab the random too, so it's gonna ask me to pick one. We're just gonna grab them all. That's my form of random. Pick one. Sure, works for me. Don't know what that said. All right, let's, so I don't think Paige is still here. I think she wandered off, which makes sense. We have it set up so that the visiting unique NPCs will travel between a couple of different settlements in like a small area, so that it just feels like they're visiting them. So she probably wandered off to somewhere else, but we can continue this, and then we'll go take a tour of the vault settlement here.
Hey there, fancy pants.
So, Teresa tells us you need some supplies for your new headquarters, build materials and so on.
We're over here, Stodge. There we go. Now he's looking at it, looking at us.
That's right.
You helped us out when we needed it most. Time to return the favor. We'll gladly share what we can.
See? I told you they'd help. Guess all that's left now is to set up a supply line. Hey, you think maybe that's something the ASAMs could build? You know, the infrastructure and stuff.
I'll give it a try.
Be my guest.
Settlement already has caravan services and are able to share resources with HQ.
I'm gonna head back to the HQ. I'll see you there.
So that was for in case people were using a city plan that didn't have a caravan services, or if they chose to build manually and didn't add one themselves. Okay, so let's go visit. Let's go visit our vault. Power gnome. I wonder how many times he built this and then like started building and then realized that like this kind of stuff where like he got a little too close and wasn't fully underground and then had to start over or like adjust everything down a little bit. It had to be painful. I love when I find actual settlers down here. It's wild that this works. Hey! Hey, Cola, what are you doing down here? Oh, sad whimper. Yeah, this place is nutty. Carvac, you're a madman. Alright, now I'm lost. Now I'm stuck down here too with Cola.
Maximum crabs!
Maximum Cola would be good. Through here, maybe? Oh yeah, because there's the gnome, so it's right over here. Yeah. That makes sense that the scrubbers would be right next to the entrance. Okay. Oh wait, there she is. Hey.
Oh, you ready to talk about helping me? I'm Paige
Oh, she noticed that we ignored her.
At your service. I'm sure we can help each other help others.
Tell me how I can help.
Well, I want to help you. And everyone. I'm Paige Hunter. I have medical and science training, and I can help you help others.
Sure, I'm interested.
Oh, how delightful! Let's get started.
Alright, we gotta give you somewhere else because this place is overloaded. Where is she gonna go? How about... Abernathy's pretty stuffed too. I don't think I built anything at Taffington yet. Off you go. Nice and easy. She's a freebie. So there are a handful of... I mean, most of you guys know this already, but... handful of settlers require nothing. Those were... and we tried to stat folks out based on the amount of effort you have to put in to recruit them. So some of those folks that have very low requirements either for questing or for their appearances. So there's 2 levels of requirement. There's one, sometimes you got to do some sort of quest, and then there are requirements for how deep your settlements are. So some of the characters that are very into industrial or agricultural or whatever will require your settlements have a certain amount. And so those, if they required a high amount of particular plots or higher level classes, we bumped up their stats accordingly. At least that's an attempt was made at that. I don't know if we did it perfectly. Okay, so let's go to... we're not going to do that one yet. Let's head back to HQ and we'll continue with the skipping the tutorial quest and see how things are going. Is that Teresa's VA? I don't think so for Paige. Hold on, let me check. I have to check on the wiki. I actually don't remember. Oh wow, that was my web pages were way zoomed in. Well, let's go to credits, champ SS2. Let's look up Paige. Who voices Paige? It is. You're right. That is. Yeah, that's Kimmy. I didn't realize that was her. I wonder if she did anything in chapter 2 as well. Oh, let's see. What else did you voice, Kimmy? Teresa, Paige. Let's see. And then I think she just became... Yeah, and then it was just Teresa after that. I'm sure it was probably like once we moved Teresa to a main character role, which happened later in development. I don't think it was originally planned for her to be that way, and then we upgraded her. That I think we probably stopped having her voice other smaller characters. Is most likely what happened there. Okay, so here's a little thing where we have something happen a little out of the ordinary. Is that we don't give you the department pop-ups when you... We should probably stop these once you skip the tutorial, right? Because yeah, I already know this stuff. So let me do that. I can fix that real quick. So let's see here. We need to go to... So I'm going to check the stages. So I can bring you guys to the dev machine here. All right, so I want to find out is, did we record when the player chooses to skip the tutorials? I probably added them to the end here. Yeah, player skip tutorial. So we want to do, if stage 400 is set, we don't want to fire off that message. So let's go to our logistics. Okay, so like we'll say if not get stage done. Do we not define this? Hold on a second. I hate magic numbers, so I want to define it as a stage here. So we'll say player skipping tutorial. There we go. So we're only going to show that if the player did not skip the tutorial, and then we're actually going to look for other fanfare messages below here, because if we're skipping the tutorial, we don't need these. Admin department, same thing. Now I'm okay with some fanfare messages showing up after this. I just think like at least for this quest, like you just told the player, or just told Mansfield, I don't need to be, you know, like we did it super meta and just have it say skip tutorial right in there. So we might as well suppress the rest of those messages. And let's go ahead and compile that out, and then I can add that to our patch notes. Because this I can actually squeeze this into Friday's patch. Because that is a super minor change that won't impact anything. Let's see. Let's see. Pop-up messages during how to HQ will now be skipped if player opted to skip the tutorial when asked by Mansfield. There we go. All right, let's close this and get back in the game. Is there any plans for Gibbs and Lashes? They seem to just fade away. No, they should just stay. They become permanent settlers. They just don't have, so like they were still at my Sunshine there. They just don't have custom voices. So they're just basically named vanilla NPCs to make it seem like there's a little gang of folks traveling together. So the skip tutorial will basically, it does two things. One is it doesn't make you, it lets you skip the objectives to build and clean rooms for Jake and Aiden to work in. And now it will suppress the pop-ups, at least through the How to HQ tutorial. I don't think I want to suppress all of them, but I might go back and do that. So I would just have to dig. There's a lot. Those messages are scattered throughout the code, so it would be a lot harder to do it outside of How to HQ in a single go and then put that in the patch notes. So it can be one of those things that, as we're playing through here, I can go through and do it, but I couldn't possibly get them all in one go right now because I don't know where they're all at. But yeah, we could always reference back to this quest and say if the player skipped the tutorial, let's suppress all HQ messages at least. Okay, so let's see here. Logistics. Actually, let's check that objective. Let's make sure that objective was written the same way as the other one was. Supply agreement with Sunshine Tidings Co-op in command mode. Okay, so we should do the same thing we did for the facilities one of give you a hint of what menu it's under. Logistics coordinate. So let me rephrase the objective to match that same pattern. I think that will feel better. Oh, what happened there? Oh, it's because my controller has those like extra buttons on the bottom. Under logistics. All right, what was it? Logistics coordinate. There we go. All right, we're update. So this is gonna be slightly different phrasing, just because of the established supply agreement. Doesn't really work the same way as a start a project. It's not really a project. So, but I will put in the sub menu to make it easier to find. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. Supply agreement with Sunshine Tidings. There we go. Wait for that to establish so we get our objective complete. There we go. And now we can hear the argument going on. Insta meeting.
But we ain't got enough to go around.
Maybe we need to reassign some personnel.
Liam, I think during How to HQ it kicks you out of workshop mode anytime a project finishes. Oh, is that still a thing? Hold on a second. Let's check that. You may be right. I do remember having that in, but we could use this if the tutorial was skipped, don't do that, right? Or if automation is on, we would want to skip that, right? Let's see. So that one I have a stage for. If player enabled automation, we'll say, I guess if player enabled automation and they skip the tutorial, I guess, yeah, if they enabled automation, we should not exit them. Let's go check what the requirements are. So looking at our code, because I do know what you're talking about now. I think the function is called start. All right, yeah, I've got a thing called handle executed force exit workshop mode. Find all. Okay, yeah, so we have it happening when a project starts and whenever a project gets scheduled. Okay, yeah, but we've already got, so I have this skipping tutorial. Force exit mode is forced to false, at least in one spot. Maybe I forgot to do it. Oh yeah, I forgot to do it in another spot. So let's see here. Player skipping tutorial. So the player skips tutorial when an action is scheduled. That we already have, but I forgot to put it under when an HQ action is executed, which means like it's the moment it happens. So let's fix that. All right, that's an easy fix. Again, that one I can slip into this patch for Friday too. So we compile that out. So now we can add to the patch notes. Fixed a bug during the quest. How to HQ, where the player frequently be kicked out of command mode. Yeah, that was one where I fixed it in one part of the code, but not a second. And this is, any programmer will tell you, this is why you want to avoid redundant code, because then you'll think you fixed a bug, and in reality you only fixed half of it. So if I had had the code set up a little more cleanly, we would have got it the first time. So this has probably been a patch note before that I'm just doing again. Yeah, I usually aim to go on my streams. I go usually for about 2 hours is my aim, but then I always go over. Usually I get caught up in something, and I don't want to stop. So we will be going for minimum 15 more minutes, but probably longer. I can show you the code. It's nothing exciting to look at. So I basically have these handler functions that I have set up. So we have this handle action scheduled, means HQ action was scheduled, and that is called by this event that we watch for. So we monitor this quest called HQ action manager for this event that the code fires off whenever an action gets scheduled, and then we handle it down here in this function. And we have a force exit workshop mode equals true, and then there's all these states where it can turn it off, where it can be like, no, actually don't do that. And so I added down here, if they're skipping the tutorial, don't force exit workshop mode. So we had it happening during the tutorial because there was nothing else you could do in command mode, and it was a way to tell the player like, hey, you did the thing. So you get exited out of command mode and the tutorial advances, which is why we set this up. But now that the player can skip the tutorial, for those players, they know what they're doing. It just feels bad to exit workshop mode, so now we can disable that. And I have a second function called handle action executed. So scheduled is when the player puts it on the task list, and then the NPCs decide to do it, and then actions executed is the moment it finishes, effectively. So I had forgotten to put the skipping tutorial in the executed. I had only put the skipping tutorial thing here under the scheduled. So every time an action completed during HUD HQ, it would force the player out of workshop mode. So while HUD HQ was running, you would get constantly kicked out. And I thought that was fixed, and I had put it in the patch notes that it was fixed, and it was not in fact fixed. And I'm sure you guys have seen that many times where I post a patch is fixed because I found a spot that was causing it when in fact there were multiple. And sometimes it's stuff like this where for various reasons we have duplicate code, whether it was because it was just an oversight or just development time when we didn't have time to refactor. Could be a number of things. Oops. I just knocked down my little notepad of to-dos for today.
Short-handed.
I don't know how anyone expects me to do anything. The number of people I have.
So I think what I'm going to do here is I want to finish this quest, and then we're going to save and roll back to the save I made, and we'll save and call that like that's going to be our end of session, so next time we start from it. But I want to roll back and play through the tutorial now so we can clean up more of the objectives and such.
Move around what we already have. Oh, hey, welcome back.
Everything okay here?
Seems we've not got enough people to cover each department's needs. So everyone's fighting again.
This is an interesting room.
Ah, you like it? I found it when I was looking for a good meeting room. It had plenty of space, came with a big table. Besides a working coffee machine, I mean, what else could we want?
What do we need to do to fix this?
That's the question, ain't it? Look, I got an idea on how to fix this personnel shortage, but it's something I'm gonna have to run past you first.
You've got my attention. Let's hear this idea.
It's a solution similar to our supply shortage problem. Simply put, we ask people from settlements to come work at the HQ. I can't imagine many, if any, would turn us down.
Huh, that's a good idea. After all, we got plenty of talented folks living in our settlements. But if we did start bringing in more people, we need someone to take charge of them all. Otherwise, it would just be chaos.
Ugh, fine. If it stops you knuckleheads from bickering, I'll do it. I'll take charge of personnel.
It's a very big responsibility.
Yeah, I know that. but I already got some experience in the whole people management area. You don't gotta worry about me. I'll make sure everyone you send here does their job the best they can.
She'd be a no-nonsense kind of boss. She would not, she wouldn't take excuses. I don't know if I want Teresa as a boss.
I don't want to make you uncomfortable. Are you sure?
I got this. Quit worrying so much.
All right, problem solved. Next time you're near a settlement, scout out potential talent and send them our way.
Indeed. The more skilled people you send to us, the faster your department heads can improve the HQ.
For now, let's get back to work, everyone. We still got a lot to do. Hey, Slick, if you got a moment, come talk to me in the common room.
Oh yeah, so we already suppressed this one. I already did the code change for that. Okay. Alright, so this will be our end of session save. So CLP day, what are we up to? Are we at 23? We've been doing this a lot of weeks. Day 22. 22, end of session. Okay. All right, now we're going to roll back to the save I made before we chose the automation. Whoa, we just kind of hop up there. Oh, tutorial complete. There we go.
The castle. Man, you do good work. Maybe there's hope for the Minutemen after all.
Okay, we will resave now, so we don't have to... Otherwise, I'm going to jump scare myself next week when I load this save with that pop-up. All right, let's load back to the... Not this one, pre-automation decision. All right, we're going to play through unautomated now, and see if we can clean up. I don't like the Concord peeps leaving, though. Okay, so now we're going to do continue tutorial, no automation, so that we are actually doing the jobs ourselves. Actually, what happens if we do continue tutorial full automation? What happens?
Take
there?
all the help I can get. So, what's next?
As you wish. I'm more than happy to provide further guidance. Also,
Later,
I'll
FC
set
Wolf.
up the workstations for each department head. That way, if you change your mind or want to take direct control of any or all departments, just leave a note at the specific workstation. And even with everyone acting autonomously, you can still assign tasks yourself. Anything you assign will naturally receive priority. Here, you should take this holotape. You may find it useful. Most of the information on it should be applicable to you in this facility. Now, I do believe your next step should be to clean up and construct some basic living quarters. At your leisure, of course.
You've chosen to enable automation and continue the tutorial. During the rest of the tutorial, you'll be asked to manually start a few more projects as part of the HQ objectives. Then after you reach the tutorial, you pop up your department heads will take over. Okay, cool. So we thought of this already. I was just thinking that of like, this is going to be odd, but
Yes.
we already thought about that. Okay. HQ is not just a place to work. It's also a place staff call home. Each room assigned to living quarters can provide space for one or more people to live, increasing the maximum of people that can stay in HQ. Personnel in living quarters at HQ will refuse to do work in other departments and so should remain a part of the facilities department so you've established them space to live. Okay, so now we can set up living quarters. Okay, so here's another one where it should be, I should just put where you do that, so it'll be, oh, I guess we've got it, so that as a shorthand because we're telling the player they need to do cleanup and building. Let me think about how I could phrase that. I guess I could use the HQs to set up living quarters. You will need to clean and build. So this is kind of like the making sure the player got it, right? The like that you need to clean and build. But we can at least remind them. So set up living quarters. They don't just go to. So if we just have a little subtext in there, you will need to clean and build What do I want to say? Not a space. I guess I could change it like use the HQ system to clean and then build living quarters. and then build a living quarter. So we'll leave it as one objective because the goal there is to make sure the player is kind of understanding it, but I can remind them they need to clean because I think some people do come to the point where they're just like, they come to here and they're like, well, there's no build option. So because now so you know, most of you guys have figured it out, but I'm trying to remember back when nobody had figured it out and what were the constant reports we were getting to try and put my head in new player mode again. Alright, yeah, Zenny, and is that some Russian? I don't have auto translate available. Yeah, clean, Mala, clean, do your thing. That's why, like, Mala's stats are ridiculous because I set her up so her stats were just enough to finish all the projects we needed her to do during HQ so that the player would have
excellent
to be able to finish all the tutorial projects without having to recruit people. So she has like artificially inflated strength. But it also fits the character, right? She's like a loader bot. So my game is chugging right now, and this is one of the things I've talked about in on multiple of my streams, both Skyrim and this, is that there's a weird quirk with the Creation Engine games where if you don't exit the game completely before reloading a save, you can get some really wonky behavior. And this is one of those behaviors where I'm getting really awkward frame drops. Even though it was totally fine before we reloaded that other save. Okay, so here I think a lot of folks get stuck, and maybe the objective needs to flat. Maybe I need to separate this into two objectives. I think that might be smarter actually here. Let's go back to the dev machine. I think if I just separate this into two objectives to be like, start with the cleaning, even though I would like the player to figure it out, it's like just in case, or maybe I can just flash the objective up again. That would work as well. Just to make sure that people get it, like they catch it, because it can be really easy to miss the little notification. Whereas objectives, if you go to be like, what am I supposed to be doing now, right? Then you'll go check your objectives. So I think I kind of need to, if not separate them, like at least flash it up here. So let me check the code real quick and see how that's handled. All right, so I've got this objective living quarters project. All right, so what I think I want to do here is we're going to go check our... Oh, you guys aren't on the dev machine, sorry. We're going to go over here. So we're going to look in this code. There's code I showed you guys just a little bit ago about the handle action executed. So we'll do something like... we'll do another check for clean action living quarters, which am I even using this anywhere in code? I may have already been using this somewhere. Handle action scheduled. Okay, yeah, we're just using it right now to do to make sure that it gets sped up. But we'll just redisplay the objective. So I believe you can do force show it here. I can't remember the definition of set objective displayed, but I believe we can send it true twice and it'll show it even if it's already on the screen. All right, give me a second here. We're gonna go to Fallout 4. I'll get this out of the way. All right, Fallout 4 UESP. There we go. Okay, we are going to go to subject displayed. I think they have it all copied up here. Hold on a second. I have it in my bookmarks. Let me go get that. They have the creation kit site mirrored. I just gotta find it. There it is. All right. I just want to remember how this is set up. Okay, so AB Displayed is true. Yeah, force display. There we go. That's what I want. So yeah, we're gonna force it to display again. Active clean living quarters is just kind of a clearer reminder that like, hey, you just finished the part of it, so that they get a feeling that the quest actually is reacting to what they're doing. Okay. Back to game machine. Oh, where'd chat go? I lost you guys. When Grab later on, excuse, it's really easy to forget which room is supposed to be doing something in, i.e. creating power station in which basement room. I think we added an objective that points to this little thing in the basement for it now, but maybe that's not working. But we can definitely address that. Like, that's the type of stuff I want to polish up with this. So here's another thing that I want to do for HQ, and Sarik may not be happy with me about this, but... So in the city manager holotape, I don't know how many of you guys have ever seen these. Returning user, cancel, leave that alone. So if you go down to, it's under tutorials? Yeah, so in tutorials, we did it a little bit differently for the holotape. We have kind of just text explanations, which, you know, maybe I would like to make this the same as War, where it's like ones you can actually run, but we also did this. Oh, hold on. There it goes.
Shows that citizens who build their own homes are more committed to their community. The Robco brand ASM system provides all the guidance a person needs to do just that.
So we wrote little in-universe explanations for everything. And Sarik does the voices of these, so there's no reason we couldn't do these for the war mechanics and the HQ stuff. Even though it has nothing to do with Robco, it could just be funny to just have more of these in there. They're just fun.
Sure, it may be a tad rustic, but it will keep the rain off your citizens whilst they sleep, and allow them to start each and every day ready to work hard and effectively. But that's not all.
Like, can you imagine hearing the Robco marketing vibe explanation of why you need to control soldiers, right? It'll have to be written like guides for military officers. Robco, it's not just for residential needs and commercial needs. We're also there for your military needs. Build, Mala, build! Hey, Daniel. Okay, department jobs. Non-facilities departments such as engineering security each require jobs in order for you to assign staff to them. Most room construction will result in increasing the job count for a department. Okay. Aiden to do their work. Alright. Alright, so with the living quarters, we reminded them already that they need to clean and build. So now at this point, now I think we can safely say, like, alright, the player should get that, right? So we can skip that. I think in the objective, it's okay for this one to skip it just because we've now given them a reminder objective already. So again, remembering that we don't have to hold people's hands 100% through all of this. And we can just go ahead and add both to the facilities task list. And then let it do its thing. Have my kids voicing it like they're voicing to a 5th grader. Oh, my older kid would love to be in a video game. That would blow his little mind. I don't know if I want him to be a good actor, though, because good actors are good liars. So I don't need that. Jake heard the Robco messages and the ASAMs and made his own for HQ. Oh, you think Jake should be the voice of it? Got it. Yeah, no, that if anything, it would be for HQ, it would have to be Mansfield, right? And then for War, it would have to be Salvador at that point if we were going to do it in character, as opposed to like, oh, these are old pre-war tutorial tapes that you found. Because the pre-war is just an excuse to write more of that dystopian marketing speak, which I think is really fun from the like Fallout in-game back. You know, you read some of the holotape entries or terminal entries rather about just how extortionist everybody sounds in the universe. I was like, well, no wonder society collapsed if that's how everybody viewed the world then. Trying to see if our booze bottle made it in, but I think I put that in the other cell, not in the not in this copy of it. While we're waiting, do we get some loot? My loot goblining does not care that it is. Oh, here's a little bug that we never fixed. I'm going to take a screenshot of this. I should actually get my our 3D artist from KGC to fix this. So just move these cables down a little ways and extend them out. Where's my print screen button? Oh, what did that do? Oh, that looks like a nice scene. Thanks, Windows 11. Every day that it rotates your, like the default Windows 11 background changes all the time, and every time my kids see a new thing on my screen, they're like, "Where's that, Dad? Where'd you take that picture?" I'm like, that's not mine. I've told you guys this. Okay, this place is looking nice and clean.
Hi, how are you?
Good job, buddy. Concord volunteer. I thought you were leaving. You told me you left. Liar. All right, I feel like this has been enough time. I wonder what's going on. I'll be patient
Yes.
though.
Yes.
Oh, it's again because okay, so we need to do the same thing. We need to flash the objective again to remind. See, this is what even me being the developer, and I'm still like, wait, what's going on? Why isn't this working? I should flash the objective when they've finished cleaning. So, okay, let's see here. We also need to do on this clean living quarters thing, that one where I just added that. I also should not do it if you skip the tutorial. Let's see. Oops. Just some quick little code tweaks here. Alright, yeah, I'm going to just add in... I'm just adding a whole bunch of spots where I'm doing... let's see here. Where I'm flashing up the objective again. Just to make sure people don't miss it like I am doing right now. There we go. So, and I added in checks to make sure that the tutorial wasn't skipped already before we do that, because obviously then if the automation starts running all those projects and then you start getting the objectives, it would be very weird. Alright, let's see here. So now we got to build it. And I'll go in and build these. Maintenance closet. Security checkpoint. There we go. How's Windows 11? How different from 10? I'm irritated with it a lot of times. I mean, at this point, I've kind of gotten over it, but my biggest gripe with Windows 11 is I like to use a vertical taskbar. I think it makes more sense on a widescreen because then I can read what my different programs are. I think a vertical taskbar makes just way more sense. And I think the only reason that it's not the default is because Windows wants to look like they deeply are envious of the Mac OS. So they keep the bottom taskbar. And for whatever reason in Windows 11, they got rid of native support for the taskbar on the left or right side of your screen. So that really irritated me. I found an app that restores that functionality, but yeah, otherwise Windows 11 and it's not that much different than Windows 10 anymore. I think they've have enough. There's been enough fixes and software updates that I don't really feel a huge difference between my two computers. But when Windows 11 first came out and they were trying to force it on everybody, it really annoyed me because there was enough bugs in it. But yeah, my biggest pet peeve with Windows 11 impacts 10 as well, and that's that eventually, if you don't catch it, like Windows will force update on you. I also think that they kind of do something where they reduce, I don't know if they reduce your, like how much CPU power your OS will use or something, but it seems to be over time, the longer I delay an update, the worse my performance gets on my computer until I finally update. And I think that it's intentional. I think it's like Apple has acknowledged that when your battery life starts to get worse on iPhones, they start reducing the performance of your phone so that the battery life lasts the same, which feels pretty sketchy. Like, because I think it tricks people into upgrading before they need to. I think there's a setting you can control, but the default is that it makes your phone work worse. And I think Windows does the same thing. If you don't update soon enough, it starts lowering your how much of your system resources your PC will use, because I always find that the longer I push off a Windows update, the worse my system seems to run. And then you can bypass this problem. Like, you can bypass automation and forced updates if you have Windows Professional. So basically, if you use the free Windows that comes with your computer, it kind of forces updates on you. And then if you pay for Windows, you can do a setting in your registry to bypass that, which that didn't used to be the case. That's something that seems to be new with Windows 10 and 11. All right, engineering department is in charge of upgrade projects, assisting facilities more advanced construction and planning of technical designs, as well as ensuring power and water flow through the building. Uses staff's combined perception to determine what's working to each day. Security department is in maintaining. Okay, security department is one where I feel like we need more projects for still. Security science, and admin were the three where I'm like, we need more stuff for them to do. Admin, we came up, I just talked about a little mini game. Science, I want to give them research projects to unlock some of the advanced building plans that you normally only find with using the Mark I beacons. And I have to think of what else security can do that could be fun. Okay, now we learn how to assign people to the security department. Okay, I guess we can do... This is the first time we've had people assigned, so I should change the objective for this. You found an app for the taskbar and it had all sorts of warnings. I can tell you the one I use in just a minute. Let me finish updating this objective. I don't remember the name of it offhand, but I think it's just always running, so... All right, let's see here. So we're going to go assign Jake to the engineering department. Under engineering, manage. We'll put that for both of them. There, that way people aren't thinking like, because, you know, the traditional, when you go to assign someone, you would think, okay, I go to command mode and then I click on them and then what do I click on, right? So directing them to the menu manage will help with that, to at least bypass that misconception. So we can go to engineering, manage, reassign staff. And we want Jake under engineering, accept. This is one where we could desperately use a custom UI for. Like, this is, I mean, cramming all the information we needed into the vanilla system so that this could work on Xbox was not only difficult to implement, but also just like, it was a brain teaser to figure out how to do this. Like, okay, we can put on the right side of the screen. Okay, we can change the title of the destination container. Cool. That'll show. That's how we'll show, you know, the max workers. We can do that. And then, you know, you can see like, okay, we can make use of the picture in the middle. So the icon is showing you the person's highest attribute. So it's like this person, Mala's highest is strength, Lupe's is intelligence, Teresa's is agility, Aiden's is agility, Conquered Volunteer is intelligence. Like, you could show that, so then you could get an idea of like, oh, where could they go? And then it was like, okay, well, we also need to show what could they offer to the current department? What are they currently providing to their other departments? You can see like Mala's providing 15 strength facilities. Like, everybody's providing their strength facilities. So you could kind of see at a glance, okay, Lupe would be much better off in security than she is in facilities, at least. So you could get an idea of who best to assign. So trying to put all this information, if we had a custom UI, we could put, you know, their full stat sheet there and then highlight their current department. We could have so much more information, but trying to cram this all into the, to this menu was quite the challenge. And I still think it's unclear to people. Like, me explaining this to you guys probably just blew some minds of like, wait, whoa, that's what all that means. Because you know, it's not spelled out anywhere in game, and so it was just kind of left for people to sort out. Send an Aiden there. Okay, hold on, let me switch to my other machine here, and I will find out what this software is called. I believe, oops, I believe it's this. Start all back. I think it's this that lets me do this. Start all back. I don't know what this is. I don't know. I think it was free. I think you could buy a license for it, but it didn't require one, and it still works, so I've just left it. And maybe this is something else, but I'm pretty sure this is it. And this lets me do the, yeah, taskbar location on screen left. Yeah, it's this. Start all back. So it probably does give me warnings. I think that does ring a bell. And that part of the warning is the, hey, you should license this, buddy. I actually should. I should, like, I love it. I should pay for it. I don't know how much it costs, so it was just one of those things that I installed. Was very happy I got my old functionality back and then ignored it. And I mean, it's not gonna lie, I just learned the bobblehead thing because I mainly look at the item names instead of, that's a neat trick. Okay, engineering upgrades. HQ in many of its rooms can be outfitted with additional capabilities. Under the engineering section, you'll find an upgrades category. Much like construction, upgrade projects have material costs and may require multiple days. For sake of story, this project won't spend extra resources and will last just a few minutes. All right, so then we get engineering menu in command mode to upgrade the front entry security. So this one, I don't think we need to spell out the upgrade engineering upgrades menu. I think it's pretty obvious. It would be pretty patronizing to put it in the menu there. Since we used the word upgrade twice already, I don't think I need to add it a third time to the objective. $4.99 for license. Oh yeah, I'll go license that because I'm sure it's just like some independent developer. Startallback.com. Yeah. Later, tip. Glad you're still with us, Concord Volunteer. I actually don't think these guys are still actually part of HQ. I think they're just, their AI packages are set not to update until we leave. Because we don't actually have anywhere for them to go. They don't actually live in Concord. You know, it's just pretend. Smoke and mirrors. So I think they, like, once we leave HQ, they just disappear. It's like, please don't disappear me, boss. Good job, Mala. Yes, those are stairs. Hey, Sarik. We invented a new job for you while you were sleeping. So an automated system for putting people in the correct place. I don't remember. That's a good question. There is for settlements. I don't know if there is for HQ, though, for optimal assignment. Alright, some construction upgrades and other projects require upkeep to maintain. This can be in the form of daily scrap, supply costs, work energy for procurement, or power and water needs. Upkeep is marked in the various HUD meters with a small arrow indicating the amount that will always be in use. This is one of those ones where the ideal would be some sort of like the HUD would like highlight itself, right, where it would be like while that message is on screen, just the supply usage would highlight and like the little part where the arrow would blink or something, but we can't do that. That is like a engine limitation. I can't display HUD elements while the message box is on screen without a script extender. So that is a bummer. But yeah, as far as automated assignment, so we have like an optimal assignment thing that unlocks in the comm array. I don't know that we have one for HQ. We could make one, I guess, or maybe that's or is that an admin job already? It might actually be an admin project. Well, let me check, because we have some admin projects that are interesting related to HQ that I don't know that most people know about. Especially once people use the automation system, it's like a lot of the little projects we've got hidden away just probably go unnoticed. And that's by design. We want people not to like, the HQ system was designed to have, for people who enjoy it and get into it and are like the idea of simulating, managing a facility. They have all these things they can discover in there. So we have coffee breaks, employee wages, negotiated wages. Yeah, we don't have an optimal assignment thing. That would be a good and it could be another thing we add to the comm array, like just like we have automated. I'll add it as an idea to look into, because Pra wrote all the code to do the automated, like optimal assignment for plots. Optimal HQ assignment? Question mark. Because one of the problems with that, with optimizing assignment, is it's very, very code intensive to do that. Like optimizing something like that is not a simple task. So it would be interesting to see what the code looks like for that. The new job was, we were talking about how we have the settlement, like the ASAM Robco tutorials recorded, where you wrote up, or we had somebody else wrote it, I actually think. Or you may have wrote some of them and somebody else wrote them. The little recorded messages that are in the City Manager holotape, where people can get kind of the marketing speak about the tutorial messages, of like doing that for the other sets of tutorial holotapes, because we have the war tutorials, and I'm gonna make HQ tutorials in the same vein, that it could be funny to do the Robco spin on those same tutorial ideas, particularly the military ones. I think could be a lot of fun. Okay, what is our current objective now? Hear out your staff's concerns. Okay, so that means there's another meeting going on. Okay, yeah, so now this is this scene that played out in the office before. Okay, so now I think we've done all the tutorials, so we don't need to continue from here. So we've updated some of the objectives. I've got it popping the objectives more often to remind, even just flashing on screen again when the player completes different things, just to make it clearer that, like, okay, you did the cleaning, now remember to do the building. Because I think multiple times when I've done it, I've forgotten, and I coded the damn thing, so it makes sense that other people would forget as well. All right, I think that's a good spot to stop. We, as predicted, went half hour over my original plan, but I'm glad we got through some of this. Made some positive changes in usability. I think even if it's simple things like objectives. Got some notes for some more stuff I want to tinker with, and good to see that the HQ automation system seems to generally be working. I think the biggest problem where folks run into problems with the automation is in the late game, because there are things with multiple departments that feel like they get stuck, and that's just, again, going back to the optimization thing of... Yeah. Yeah, tell me more, Gath. Don't just hang there. The same problem comes in assignment optimization as using energy optimization, is deciding, like, how do I allow code in an efficient way to decide where to distribute the energy, and it's a very complicated problem to solve mathematically. So I opted for a simple algorithm for that, where it basically just iterates through all projects, and as soon as it finds one that's eligible where there's enough energy in the available departments, it just runs that. And that's probably not the optimal way to go about that. There's probably, I mean, that's the optimal way from that's the cheapest way mathematically to do it, but there are probably more desirable ways from a player perspective to do that. I just got to figure out how to do them math-wise, if that makes sense. So anybody who knows code knows what I'm talking about. But thank you guys for joining me. Oh, we can get one more maximum crab for the night.
Maximum crabs!
Thanks, Clark. All right, guys. I will see you on Sunday for some more Skyrim.